Midnight light on a dim-lit screen, clicking through stories you wouldn't believe. Cold case trails and courtroom scenes, whispers from the grave and media dreams. Truth is stranger, hearts beat faster, in the shadows of a news disaster. Scrolling deep where secrets hide, you found the stories time won't deny. Headstones and headlines, the tales collide. Justice and mystery, side by side. From backwoods crimes to breaking news lines, you shine a light where the silence lies. Oh, headstones and headlines, you dig where the truth won't die. Small town rumors and urban fear, a voice for the lost who can't speak here. Through every name, through every case, you hold the truth in a steady place. Cameras roll but justice lingers, truth unravels through careful fingers. You tell the story, speak their names in a world that's quick to look away. Headstones and headlines, the tales collide. Justice and mystery, side by side. From backwoods crimes to great night trials, you trace the echoes through every mile. Oh, headstones and headlines, you dig where the truth won't die. Some run from the dark, you walk right in with a question and a camera lens. It's not just a crime, it's the lives they led. The voice is still talking from the books unread. Headstones and headlines, the veil is thin. Truth gets louder when you begin. With every view, with every line, you bring the forgotten back to life. Oh, headstones and headlines, you dig where the truth won't die. Yeah, headstones and headlines, you tell the stories that time can't hide.
Hey everyone, happy Friday. Happy Friday. So hopefully all of you were able to get outside today. It was absolutely beautiful here in New York. When I woke up, it was 60 degrees. It was not humid. I didn't have to turn the AC on first thing, and I got outside for about 3 hours today. So it is just amazing. And tomorrow is supposed to be similar, so I am very excited because I plan on getting outside tomorrow as well. So thanks for being here. I did see, Lunatic, you were here early. I have so many questions about this. I'm so glad you're doing this update. Yes, and there's so much information. Like, I should have spent more time looking stuff up, but like I said, I had to get outside. I've been sick of being in this house. Cuddle, thanks for being here. Yanni says cloudy but so nice. Lunatic, the heat wave has broken, thank God. It's 76 and rainy. Yeah, we got the rain yesterday. And I did never get to the story about Queens in New York City, where there was flooding. They got a lot of rain down there, a lot of rain. So we're going to get started because, like I said, there is a lot to talk about in regards to this case in Tennessee. I did see that about an hour ago, law enforcement did find the car belonging to Austin Drummond, who is suspected of killing 4 individuals and dropping off a baby at a home in a different county. I did look up the area where this occurred, and it's Tiptonville, Tennessee. And I meant to, before I went live, I meant to look to see how far Tiptonville was from Jackson, Tennessee, because that is where they found his car. It's about 74 miles. Jackson is southeast of Tiptonville. It's about an hour and a half. It takes about an hour and a half. So that's interesting. That's interesting. And the other thing that I found, hey Pookie, thanks for being here. The other thing that we had learned yesterday, we talked about a little bit, that he had this, Austin Drummond had been in trouble before. Well, if you haven't heard what he was in trouble for before, the fact that he got out so soon, to me, maybe shouldn't have happened. He is a violent person. He is a violent person. And it's bizarre. Oh, Nanny, about 2 hours from you? Gosh. And then I was looking at Facebook because, is it Nick? What's his? Nick Barris. Nick Barris has a few things that he had posted. And then there was a post from the Dyer County Sheriff's Office. There was a comment claiming that Drummond had been allegedly seen, according to a newspaper, but I couldn't find anything to verify that. So, but there is verification that his car has been found. So that makes you wonder, how is he getting around now? Did he take a bus? Did he get a ride? Did he hijack someone? We don't know. So hopefully law enforcement will be able to get to him sooner than later. Okay, so we're going to talk about Austin Drummond, who again is the prime suspect in a quadruple homicide that took place in Tiptonville, Tennessee. And then Andrew McGann, who is the suspect in the double homicide of Clinton and Cristen Brink at Devil's Den State Park, was in court today for his first appearance. So we do have video of that. It was interesting. They had it televised, but it was on a TV. So like no one was allowed. It seemed that media wasn't allowed inside the courtroom itself, but there was a big screen TV where people were sitting in front, and then that's what they videoed. It was about 3 minutes long. And then I just have a couple of other videos, just kind of, of things that I found that we may not have talked about yesterday. So yes, Jackson, Tennessee. Yep. And actually, here we go. Let's go to this first, because I was going to do a video first, but since we're talking about the car, let me remove myself. This is a post from Nick Barris about an hour ago. And it says, update, Drummond's white Audi has been found in Jackson, Tennessee. Manhunt continues for accused mass murderer Austin Robert Drummond. The TBI will hold a news conference at 3 p.m. Central Time today. So that would have been an hour ago. I didn't find a news conference. I'm going to have to look for that because 3 p.m. Central is 4 p.m. Eastern. So that would have been 45 minutes ago. I did not see anything. I will look for that. I've been told there will be nothing really new to report unless something develops between now and then. The TBI director and others will recap what we already know and take questions, but unfortunately, I doubt we'll learn much new. I will cover it and let you know. Here's the latest. Drummond has been added to the TBI's Tennessee Most Wanted list. A reward of up to $15,000 is now being offered for information leading to his arrest. I've confirmed Drummond's connection to one of the victims. He was dating Courtney Rose's sister, and the sister had worked at the prison where Drummond was incarcerated. Drummond was recently released from prison in 2013. Okay, now it makes sense now. Recently released from prison on 2013 robbery charges, but has pending charges that he's out on bond for, including, this is what I was saying, he should have never been out. He's out on bond for multiple drug and weapons charges and an attempted first-degree murder charge while in prison in Lake County. Let me say that again. He was recently released from prison on a 2013 robbery charge, but has pending charges that he's out on bond for. Multiple drug and weapon charges and an attempted first-degree murder charge while in prison in Lake County. Now, about those charges. I have spoken at length with an officer who investigated Drummond in the past, leading to the most recent charges. Here's what he told me. Drummond is a relatively high-ranking member of a gang. Drummond was involved with smuggling drugs into prisons. In one incident, he was accused of using drones to drop narcotics over prison fences to inmates. This is very lucrative. My source who investigated Drummond also believes he fancied himself an enforcer for the gang and that it would not surprise him at all if Drummond has killed before. This is a bad dude with a long criminal record, but not too smart. We don't know how, but authorities quickly linked him to the 4 murders, and I believe that surprised him. The 29-year-old is charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of aggravated kidnapping, 4 counts of felon in possession of a firearm, and 1 count of possession of a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony. The deceased are identified as 21-year-old Matthew Wilson, the baby's father, 20-year-old Adriana Williams, the baby's mother, 38-year-old Courtney Rose, the baby's maternal grandmother, and 15-year-old Braden Williams, the baby's maternal uncle. Motive for the killings remains a mystery, though I have some theories. So where is Drummond? His photo is everywhere. There is a nationwide bolo. He is hiding, and it's highly likely someone is helping him, possibly fellow gang members. But there is no good endgame for him. Authorities will close in on Drummond. I do know if he is caught and convicted, prosecutors will seek the death penalty, so he is not surrendering. And then there's this shared with me by someone who knows gangs. Drummond is now radioactive. Law enforcement is likely already cracking down on his gang looking for him. Fellow gang members may well decide he is no longer worth protecting and dispatch him themselves. My friend says he's seen that happen before. Austin Robert Drummond is 5 foot 10 inches tall, 190 pounds with brown hair, blue eyes, and a goatee. His appearance may have been altered. He is believed to be driving a 2016 Audi A3 with Tennessee plate RI01896. We now know that they have found that car. The vehicle has damage to the driver's side. Spot him, do not approach. Call 911 or 1-800-TBI-FIND. Share and report if you see him or know where he is hiding. And so I did see, so yesterday we had seen these 2 photos, which I think he looks completely different in both of these photos. And he also, in this photo on the right, he does not appear to me to be very dangerous. When you look at Andrew McGann, the 28-year-old who killed a mom and dad in Devil's Den, he looks scary. This guy, like if I saw this guy, I'd be like, oh, he's just another guy. Wouldn't assume that he was dangerous. Here's the car, which they have now found. And this, I noticed they released, well, I saw it today, with him without facial hair. So you can kind of see, I mean, it does change his appearance quite a bit. I mean, the eyes, obviously the eyes are very distinct in my opinion. So he is a dangerous, dangerous person. Hey, Evil Queen. Wonder what the that's what I wonder if I can. Let's see. What was? Let's see. Austin Drummond bond attempted murder. Here we go. Criminal background of wanted man accused of killing family of abandoned baby. Okay, so let's go here. Oh, this might be actually the story that I had. Okay, let's see what this one says, because I do have another. Oh, this is the same one. Okay. I think WREG. Oh, no, it's a different one. Okay. So it says criminal background of Lake County homicide suspect. WREG investigators are digging deeper into Lake County homicide suspect Austin Drummond's past. He is wanted by the TBI and the Lake County Sheriff's Department for 4 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of aggravated kidnapping, 4 counts of unlawful possession of a weapon, and 1 count of possession of a firearm during a dangerous felony. According to the TBI's criminal history, WREG investigators uncovered Drummond's rap sheet dates back to 2011 when he was just a teenager. He pleaded guilty to evading arrest and attempted burglary in Jackson, Tennessee. Interesting. That's where his car was found. He received 24 hours of community service. 2 years later, court records state that when Drummond was 17 years old, he walked behind the register in a gas station in Jackson, pointed a pistol at the clerk, demanded she open the cash register, and took the cash inside. A jury found him guilty. Austin Drummond served a 13-year sentence in TDOC custody for aggravated robbery and retaliation for past actions. His sentence ended on September 1st, 2024. His criminal history report shows that same day in Lake County, the same place where there's a state-operated correctional complex, Drummond was hit with gun, drug, and contraband charges. Oh, and here's his rap sheet right here. Let me see if I zoom in. Yep, we can see it a little better. So, arrest date, September 1st, 2024. Possession of a handgun, convicted felon. Possession of meth. Possession, manufactured. Del sale, is that like intent to sell? I'm not sure what that means. Let's see. Contraband into penal facility. Contraband into facility, intoxicant drugs. And he was using a drone. I still can't get over that. He was using a drone to drop drugs into the prison. You know, I thought that too, Coddle. He does kind of look like Edward Norton without the facial. Well, even with the facial hair. I love Edward Norton. American History X is when I first was introduced to Edward Norton, and that is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, you should. Okay, so then in December, so this is December, 8 months ago, he was reportedly charged with attempted first-degree murder and contraband in a penal facility. So on, December 12th, 2024, first-degree murder attempted, contraband. Since then, he was arrested on even more charges, including meth, contraband, and unlawful telecommunication devices in a penal facility. Dyer and Lake County DA Danny Goodman Jr. stated Drummond served his entire sentence. There was no probation or parole. He had these new charges pending from where it occurred inside the prison. Once that happens and he is released, it's no different from anyone else who is on the street and receives a charge. Goodman stated Drummond was transferred to Lake County where he made bond. Well, and they didn't say how much bond was. He is currently out on those bonds for those charges, has court dates that have been set, has actually appeared in court, and now has these current charges that had just occurred. WREG investigators will keep digging and let you know what we find out. Drummond may be driving a 2016 Audi A3. We know that investigators have found that car. He is considered armed and dangerous and should not be approached, authorities say. If you see him, call 911 or 1-800-TBA-FIND. And we know now that the reward is up to $15,000 for information leading to his capture. So I did have another, let's go to this article. We're kind of going out of order, but that's okay. This article actually gives a little bit more insight into his crime when he was 17. Probably the prison in only Tennessee. There's tons of drugs in that prison. And how, I don't know Tennessee law, but my opinion would be if he served a 13-year sentence for robbery and I don't remember what the other thing was, and he was released, but on the same day, he was charged with attempted murder, why would he have been given bond? And why is he on bond for now 8 months? What? And I know Tennessee, you have to be a resident to get copies of court records, but let me just look and see if I can find. So Austin Drummond. State of Tennessee versus Austin Drummond. I don't know what the charges for this one were, though. Oh, this is his appeal. Okay, so he appealed in 2016. And I would assume that his appeal was denied because he was still in prison. That's not what I wanted. I thought that was actual. I will look and see if I can find more on him because he should never have been. My opinion is he should have been held without bond. Because if he had, these 4 people would most likely still be alive. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either. Okay, so Tennessee man sought in 4 deaths, spent years in prison for robbing a convenience store at age 16. The man wanted in the Northwest Tennessee deaths of 4 people, 2 of whom had an infant who was found alive in a front yard more than 30 miles away, has spent years in prison for robbing a convenience store as a 16-year-old and threatening to go after jurors. What? This just gets more and more. Oh, that's the name of the actual town, Nanny? Only? The prison in Only, Tennessee. Oh my gosh, that's a cool name, actually. Authorities are now offering a reward of up to $15,000 for information leading to the arrest of 28-year-old Austin Robert Drummond. The TBI has said it obtained warrants for Drummond, charging him with 4 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of aggravated kidnapping, and weapons offenses. Drummond, who has been added to the TBI's most wanted list, should be considered armed and dangerous. Authorities have not yet answered questions about the manner in which the 4 were killed. Drummond was tried as an adult for the July 2013 robbery in Jackson, Tennessee. During the incident, he pointed a pistol at the gas station store worker and ordered the cash register to be opened, taking the $44 inside. He must not have gotten an electric monitor. Yeah, Pookie, my question, what is it worth, Tennessee, in crime anymore? During a 2020 hearing in which he was denied parole, Drummond said he was on Xanax the night of the robbery and doesn't remember robbing the gas station. He said the gun was a BB gun. After the jury convicted him of 1 count of aggravated robbery in August 2014, he made threats to go after jurors, Drummond said during the parole hearing. He pleaded guilty in February 2015 to 13 counts of retaliation for past action. So he threatened to go after jurors during his parole hearing. Like, what is happening here? Like, Tennessee failed. The DA that covers Madison County, Jody Pickens, urged against early release for Drummond, writing a letter in 2020 that called him, quote, a dangerous felony offender and a confirmed member of the Vice Lords, a street gang. I would agree with that. Pickens wrote that Drummond made the threats against jurors and the victim in the robbery during a phone call with his father. The Associated Press obtained audio and documents from the parole board hearing through public records requests. Drummond was given a combined 13-year sentence. His sentence ended in September 2024, according to the parole board meeting and Tennessee Department of Correction records. As of the 2020 parole hearing, Drummond had more than 24 disciplinary issues in prison, including possession of a deadly weapon, assault, refusing a drug test, and gang activity. Drummond said the assault and the deadly weapon charges occurred because he was almost beaten to death. Yeah, well, this is probably why Tennessee has so much criminal activity, because they let people out that shouldn't be out. Like, why is he out on bond? Like, this is insane. The investigation began after an infant in a car seat was found in a front yard in the Tigrit area on Tuesday afternoon. The Dyer County Sheriff's Office said in a statement posted on social media that a caller reported the infant had been dropped off by a minivan or midsize SUV at a, quote, random individual's front yard with a photo of the baby in a paramedic's arms. After identifying the infant, the sheriff's office said later that night they were working with investigators in neighboring Lake County, where 4 people had been found dead. On Wednesday, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation identified the 4 people found dead in Tiptonville as James M. Wilson, 21, Adriana Williams, 20, Courtney Rose, 38, and Braden Williams, 15. Wilson and Adriana Williams were the infant's parents, and Rose was Adriana and Braden Williams' mother. All 4 of the victims lived in Dyer County. Immediately after discovering the infant, investigators started looking for the baby's family and soon learned the 4 relatives had not been seen since the night before. Then, a relative called 911 after finding 2 vehicles in a remote area. The 4 bodies were found in nearby woods. All 4 victims had been killed, Goodman said, but he declined to say how. Authorities did not name the infant, but an obituary for Wilson says he is survived by his daughter, Wesleyan Wilson. An attorney who represented Drummond in his case as a teenager did not immediately return a message requesting a comment. A telephone listing for Drummond could not be found. Very lax on charges. That still didn't say what his bond was. I mean, so it was 2023. Let's see. Here's another Facebook post. Let's see. Nope, that one doesn't say the amount of bond. Let's see. What's this say? Oh, so the upcoming court hearing in relation to the Lake County, so the drug charges, contraband, possession of a gun, attempted murder, his hearing was scheduled for August 25th. But the charges were in 2023. Oh, what is this? I don't know how this is from Instagram. I don't think I can see it because I'm not. Okay. This is weird. It had said something about $50 million bond, but I think that's false. All right. Well, I'm not able to find that, but when you look for Austin Drummond now, Andrew McGann's name also comes up in the search. Okay, so let's go over to this video. I did have an article from the New York Times, but I feel like, let me just see if there's anything in the New York Times article that we didn't talk about already. Because I was going to actually read that first, but I'm guessing they probably don't have. Wow, the town of Tiptonville is less than 3,500 people. That's a very small town. Okay, so the New York Times didn't have anything. And what was... I think it was on... Oh, yeah. Nick Barris had said... I wanted to look at that the relationship. He had said something about what he had verified with so he was dating Courtney Rose's sister. So Courtney Rose is the grandmother of the little baby. And her sister had worked at the prison where Drummond was incarcerated. So that's how he knew them. So did he do it in retaliation toward the sister, but didn't kill the baby for whatever reason? Thank God. Let me see, actually, before we get to this video, let me see if Nick Barris has anything else. Oh, he actually has. All right, let's go to this first, then we'll go to that video. So this is, Nick Barris had posted yesterday. Not the first time quadruple murder suspect has been in trouble. Found this story reported by WBBJ TV in Jackson, Tennessee back in 2013 when the suspect was 17. A teenager in Jackson will be tried as an adult for an armed robbery, and kidnapping committed in July. Austin Drummond, 17 of Jackson, is charged with aggravated robbery for the store incident and aggravated kidnapping, aggravated robbery for the personal attack. So he also attacked the cashier? Following a scheduled transfer hearing today in Madison County Juvenile Court, Drummond waived his right to a hearing where police would have been required to show probable cause that he committed the crimes. Around 12:35 a.m., July 31st, which would have been in 2013, Drummond, who was then 16, entered the Circle K at 3162 North Highland Avenue. He was armed with a handgun and demanded money. Drummond took cash and then fled on foot. Later that day, around 6:40 p.m., a 17-year-old male picked up Drummond, who was a friend. Drummond then asked the victim to pick up another man at an apartment on the 600 block of Old Humboldt Road. When the second man got into the car, he was armed with a handgun. The victim was forced to drive to 2 different ATM machines and withdraw money. The victim gave the gunman money. The victim then drove the gunman to the 100 block of East University Parkway. The gunman took the victim's wallet and cell phone before getting out of the car and fleeing. The victim drove Drummond to the 100 block of Oil Well Road, where he then got out of the car. Drummond made a statement to the victim about not calling the police. Drummond was on the run until he was arrested August 21st in Daytona Beach, Florida. So almost 4 weeks, almost a month, he was on the run, and he went to Florida. Jackson investigators transported Drummond from a juvenile detention center in Volusia County, Florida, and booked him into the Madison County Juvenile Detention Center. Judge Christy Little set Drummond's bond at $50,000. So for that, for robbery, kidnapping, aggravated robbery, $50,000 bond. Just guessing, that was not his only brush with the law, a convicted felon. Here he is. This is when he was 17 or 16, because that's when he did his. I agree. Robbie Harris, sadly, 4 people would still be alive if he was still locked up. Just saying. Who thought it was a good idea to allow someone like this back into the outside world? Well, he served a sentence, that is. But with those other charges, he should not have been given bond, in my opinion. Oh, yep, I agree. He could be back in Florida by now. He's familiar with that area. I agree. Humans are creatures of habit. They're creatures of habit. So I think he could be in Florida. Hey, Team Brit. Oh, no fresh air today. Bummer. Well, hopefully soon. Oh my gosh, it was so nice to get outside. So nice. And then I was out for close to 3 hours I was outside wandering around. Yeah. All right. So this is called Baby Abandoned, 4 Found Dead in Lake County, breaking down the timeline. And I am still going to be looking to see if I can find what his bond was in this attempted murder case that he was out on.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on ABC 24 News at 10. I'm Pepper Baker. Well, new tonight, there is an intense manhunt and growing reward for one of Tennessee's most wanted. Austin Drummond is wanted for a quadruple murder spanning Dyer and Lake counties. Now, tonight, the TBI and the U.S. Marshals Service are offering a combined $15,000 to help catch Drummond, who faces several serious charges, including 4 counts of first-degree murder and aggravated kidnapping. Drummond is considered armed and dangerous. He's accused of killing 4 people who were found on a dead-end road in Lake County. Their deaths connected to an abandoned baby found in Dyer County. ABC 24's Lauren Turman is live at the Lake County Sheriff's Department with the efforts to capture Drummond. Lauren.
U.S. Marshals are passing. I hope they find him. Cuddle, I have not seen Rounders. I have not. Lunatic says, I get it. If I was looking at life in prison, I'd go to Florida with whatever time I had left, too. And it's interesting, too, that, Nick Barris had said that this guy is, a higher level member of a gang. And maybe the gang will just take him out. I don't know. This is so messed up. Yeah, a teacher found wandering around in search of stray kittens. I didn't see any kittens. I went to, I know people make fun of me for it, but I did go to a cemetery a little ways away from where I am. And there was a car there, like just parked in this one section where you can't really see. It's like a dip from the road. And I'm like, what are those people doing? Like, who just goes in a secluded section of a cemetery? Like, clearly you're probably doing something nefarious. So I just went the opposite direction and left them to whatever they were doing. Okay, Cuddle, I'll definitely, let me write that down. Rounders. I'll check that out. Pookie says, I want to get to find out what being a creature of habit is. Every time I get to where I think that I can, one of my kids takes that chance away. Yeah, true. The gang may be protecting him. Yeah, and that's what, that's the other thing is maybe that's who's helping him. In Tennessee on I-40, you'll see state troopers every few miles. This is wild.
Well, there are certainly lots more details to follow here tonight, Pepper. And as this investigation continues, we're learning more about the suspect, Austin Drummond. We're learning more about the victims who Lake County leaders tell me were from Dyer County and what the community is saying about it all. Much of Northwest Tennessee wanting answers after deputies found 4 Dyer County residents dead in neighboring Lake County.
Everyone needs to be careful. Everyone needs to know who they're dealing with.
The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation looking into 2 connected cases from Tuesday. The first, where an infant was found abandoned in a car seat on a front yard in Dyer County, just hours before bodies were found along Carrington Road in Lake County. The victim.
And I wonder why he chose that location. Or I say he. We don't know if it was him who dropped the baby off. I would assume it was him. Why that spot? Was it random? Was it because of, some other reason?
Victims identified as 21-year-old James Wilson, 20-year-old Adriana Williams, 38-year-old Courtney Rose, and 15-year-old Braden Williams. The suspect, Austin Robert Drummond, charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder, being a felon in possession of a firearm, 1 count of possession of a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony, and aggravated kidnapping. Records also show Drummond served 13 years in prison and was released in September.
Just do the right.
Barbara Vaughn, who worked in Tennessee's prison system, says this is heartbreaking but not surprising.
That whole family is gone, but I've seen this behavior. I taught in the prison system. I know this kind of behavior, but it's hard to believe that people are that cruel.
Others, like Scotty Warden, says even with the suspect not yet found, he is not worried.
Well, everything's pretty good. We never had no problems here.
Lake County Mayor Danny Cook also calling this a devastating and despicable act, saying he can't imagine losing 1 family member in such a way, much less 4. This community hoping the family's questions are answered at the close of the investigation.
I hope they do fit all the pieces together and we eventually find out what drove this man, if he's the one who did it, what drove him to do this.
The reward for any information leading to...
There he is. There he is. Born in 1996. 28 years old, 5'10", 190 pounds. Armed and dangerous, violent tendencies. You think? Yep, Pookie, you did. You told me it was going to be an interesting story even before they knew who the baby belonged to.
Drummond's capture has been increased to $15,000.
And I'm sorry, I mean, $15,000 is a lot of money. But for someone like this, who is not afraid of clearly violent acts, I mean, it's got to be a little more incentivized, in my opinion.
And of course, there are still plenty of questions for investigators to find at this point and look into, including the circumstances that surround the deaths of each of these people, as well as what else has been going on specifically when it comes to the relationship between getting them from Dyer County to Lake County here. Now, we've also seen some more social media posts about Drummond's suspected close relationship with the victims, but so far the TBI has not confirmed that information. Live in Lake County, I'm Lauren Turman, ABC 24 News.
Lots of attention on that case. Lauren, thank you. And we want to break down the timeline of exactly what has happened up to this point. Take a listen. Tuesday, the Dyer County Sheriff's Office posted on Facebook a call for help identifying an abandoned baby.
Look at how sweet she is. That poor baby, because of this loser, is gonna grow up an orphan. Scumbag.
Deputies say around 3 that afternoon, they got a call that someone in a dark minivan or white SUV left the child in a car seat outside and took off. This happened at a stranger's house on Old Highway 20 near the T-Grid area. About an hour later, the department updated the post saying they identified the baby. They also named Courtney Rose, Matthew Wilson, and Adriana Williams as 3 people they wanted to question about this case. Later that evening, the Dyer County Sheriff's Office announced the abandoned baby was part of a case in Lake County. That's where investigators found 4 people dead on Carrington Road in Tiptonville. Wednesday morning, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation identified the victims as James Wilson, Braden Williams, Courtney Rose, and Adriana Williams. The TBI confirmed they are related to the abandoned baby. Then Thursday, the TBI identified Austin Drummond as the suspect in this case. He's now on Tennessee's most wanted list. And we just want to show you Austin Drummond's picture again. This is the car the TBI believes Drummond is driving. It's a 2016 Audi A3 with Tennessee plate RI 01896. He faces 4 counts of first-degree murder, aggravated kidnapping, and other charges. He is considered armed and dangerous. Again, if you see him, call 800-TBI-FIND. You do not have to give your name, but of course, stay with ABC 24 on air, on ABC 24 Plus, and on our website, abc24.com, for more information as this story develops.
All right. And I did look up to see, because they said the baby was found in the Tigray area. So I did look up. I went to the maps because I was just curious. And so I'm going to just share this quickly. So, what was the town again? Tiptonville. So Tiptonville is here, where the red dot is. And then the Tigray area is down here. So it's about 45 minutes. And then if we put in, and here's Jackson right here. So he's definitely moving. That tells me that he dropped the baby off and then he continued to Jackson. I feel like he's probably been in Jackson, Tennessee for a while. Well, I mean, it's only been a few days, but I feel like he's been there. Yeah. Oh, Team Brink, did you hear they did find his car? They did find his car. And that is I keep checking to see if there's any more updates. But yeah, we can actually go to this because I'm still trying to find, a bond thing. So vehicle of suspect in quadruple homicide found. The TBI says the vehicle driven by Austin Drummond was located unoccupied. The 2016 Audi was found in the woods near the dead. Wait, what? Hold on. Okay, it's a different dead end. Never mind. I was like, wait, the 4 people were found at the end of a dead end, but that was in Tiptonville. So this is in Jackson. His Audi was found in the woods near the dead end of MCO Road in Jackson, Tennessee. Drummond was not inside. Jackson police say that it appears that he has been living in the car and that he may be in the area. Police are asking all people within the immediate area to lock their doors and stay indoors as the search for Drummond continues. If you happen to see him, call 911. Do not approach. And here are the 4 victims. Beautiful people. He was just released not even a year ago. Oh, it says his last confirmed sighting was Wednesday in Jackson. That's the first time I've heard or read that. Oh, here, let's go to the TBI Twitter page. Let's see if they've put anything else. And, oh, that's right. I want to look for they did the updated press conference too. Okay, so 1 hour ago, the TBI and the 29th Judicial District Attorney General's Office are holding a news conference to provide information about the ongoing search for most wanted fugitive Austin Robert Drummond. Let's see, and they've been updating that same post. Repeat. Let's see what the last thing they wrote was. 15 minutes ago, the press conference has concluded. So let me see if I can find that. Let me get on YouTube. I thought maybe they would have it on their Twitter page, but let's see. Austin Drummond. Or no, wait, not Austin Drummond. TBI Press Conference. Oh, here we go. I think this is it. Oh man, it's super blurry though. Let me see if I can find it. This one is like, it's so blurry, it's bad. This might be the only one. All right, well, we'll try it, and if it's stays blurry, I'll keep trying to find a different one. All right, so let's see what.
U.S. Marshal, Western District of Tennessee, Tyrese Miller. Stephen Sutton is here to speak on behalf of Lake County Sheriff Brian Avery and Dyer County Sheriff Jeff Fox. And we also have, we'll hear from Deputy Chief Derek Tisdale with the Jackson Police Department. First, we're going to have Director Roush come and speak with you and give you some updated information on the investigation.
At least the audio is good.
Thank you, Kim. And thank you all for being here with us.
Okay, it looks like it does get better.
Let me begin by expressing our condolences to the families of these victims. James M. Wilson, Adriana Williams, Courtney Ray, and Brady. We at the Tennessee Bureau Investigation, along with all of the law enforcement organizations there, have been working this case, understand the profound impact that this crime has had on the Lake and Dyer communities. This tragic, violent, and heartbreaking event that happened on Tuesday has shocked this community, has certainly concerned neighbors, and with the type of crime has people scared in their homes. Tragically, this incident has this community on edge. I can assure you that state, local, federal agencies have been working around the clock since Tuesday when we were notified of this incident, that we are working to determine all the facts of the case and to bring the identified individual, Austin Robert Drummond, and to determine what he may know about this tragic incident. This investigation began at the request of 29th District Attorney General Danny Goodman. I can tell you that our authorities, local, state, and federal, have been working on this since we got this call. The last confirmed sighting of the individual who is the suspect in this case at this time and is now wanted was on Wednesday in Jackson. The victims were discovered on Tuesday, July 29th, in a wooded area along Carrington Road in Tiptonville. Based on what we know at this time, we do not believe that this was a random act of violence. It appears, with all the information that we have, is that this was a targeted incident. This is why I think it's critical for us to reach out and appeal to Austin and those who may be assisting him to turn himself in, or for them to call us and let us know where he is so that we can bring him in to question him about what took place. We know, frankly, that based on information of the incident, that while this was an extremely tragic and violent event, that there was a sign of compassion, if you will, that we know happened, that tells us that there's a possibility that Austin may have a sense that that there is hope for him to be able to come in and have a conversation about what happened. And because of that, we're asking him to give us a call. Let us pick you up or bring yourself in. Find a legal representative and come by and sit down and have a conversation about what happened. We recently have discovered the vehicle that he was last seen in. The information has now been put out to the public in the area where it was discovered. Last seen driving a white 2016 Audi A3, and that had damage on the vehicle. That vehicle was recently discovered on the dead end of MCO Road. That's Mike Charlie Oscar Road here in Jackson. Law enforcement has put out a notification to those in that area to lock their doors and be alert. And they will notice a large police presence in that area, and for them to stay aware and stay safe and to call immediately to 911 if they see this subject or if they see anything challenging or concerning. There have been charges filed through the Attorney General's, through the District Attorney General's office. 28-year-old Austin Robert Drummond has warrants for 4 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of aggravated kidnapping, dangerous felony, and he is considered armed and dangerous. This is why we're advising the public not to engage with him, to call us if you see him, if you have information about his whereabouts, to reach out through the 1-800 TBI Find line. We have also, in conjunction with the U.S. Marshals, put a $15,000 reward for information leading to his arrest and conviction. And so we ask those who may know something about this case to please reach out and call law enforcement. I do want to thank our partners. This has been an absolutely difficult few days here in the area, Lake and Dyer and here in Jackson. It's been a difficult few days, and I want to thank our partners. There has been an amazing response from many authorities in this, and I'll mention a few. This is not a comprehensive list, but there are a few that I want to mention and thank for their dogged determination in this investigation. It includes our folks with Lake County Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Avery, Dyer County Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Box, the Crockett County Sheriff's Office, Dyersburg PD, Tiptonville PD, of course, Jackson PD. Also on the state side, we've had TWRA, the Highway Patrol, State Parks, and of course, the District Attorney's Office from the 29th. On the federal side, we've had the United States Marshal Service, Two Rivers Violent Fugitive Task Force working closely with us, as well as the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Again, I think it's critical that the public know that, one, this is not a random act. And so I think if there's any solace in that, there should be, that it was not random. And frankly, an act that this individual that we believe is of interest and certainly have charges on. There was an act after the event that we believe shows some humanity. And so we're appealing to that piece, as inhumane as the situation is. But we're appealing to that within this individual to come to us and tell us what happened, right? Let us work through this and figure out what happened so that we can bring some resolution to this. And again, I want to thank all of the agencies involved in this effort. And really, I'm extremely proud of our team here at TBI. They have been working around the clock, putting in every resource that we have to attempt to, one, investigate this case, but also to bring resolution. And so with that, I will turn it over to General Goodman for his comments. General.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. I don't have a lot to add, but I do have a few things that I would like to say. First of all, there can't be any more tragedy, anything more tragic to happen to a person than the loss of a family member. Unfortunately, we have, in this case, a family who have lost multiple people. And so our heart goes out to the family. It goes out to the family that's going to be dealing with the child and raising a child that has lost both parents now. So our hearts go out to those individuals. I would like to thank the law enforcement. This has been nothing short of impressive. As Director Rouse said, they've worked 24 hours a day. I don't think I've ever been so impressed with information has come in so rapidly in this case. It seems like just every 5 to 10 minutes, there's new information coming in. So without this team that's here, there's no way we would be where we are at this point. So I want to thank them for that. The other thing is we are dealing with an extremely violent individual. This was what we would think is an isolated incident. It's not anything to where we think the community is in danger because of a person who may be out here randomly targeting people. We don't think that's the case at all. However, we do need the community to be very careful. We do not need them to try to approach this person. We do need help. And we appreciate the media being here because there's a lot of things we couldn't do and information we couldn't get out without you. But we need the community as well. So if anyone does have any information, don't approach the individual. Just contact the TBI hotline, call 911.
Okay, I am going to stop this. This is, unless you guys want to watch this, I'll put the link in chat, but this is painful to watch. It keeps glitching. It's blurry. I mean, and I tried to see if there was a, well, I don't know. Does it get better? Not really, but it looks like there was more media there. Where the heck are all the other feeds of this? Let me know if y'all want to keep watching. If not, I'll just drop the link in chat and is there a transcript? Good question. Let's see. I didn't even think about that. There is a transcript. Okay, so I'm going to I'll just take them down. I'll just read the transcript to all of y'all. Okay, so we left off at 12:15. All right, so I'm just going to start and I'll just read the transcript. All right. So if anyone does have any information, don't approach the individual. Just contact the TBI hotline, call 911. But not only is he known to be a violent offender because of this incident, he's been violent in the past. So we know that this is an individual. So just be very careful. And other than that, I'll take questions if you have any, but Turn it over. Is someone else? Yes. Okay. All right. Afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the United States Marshal Service, I want to send our sincere condolences to the family of those affected you against such a tragic loss. I cannot imagine what they may be going through, and I'm a firm believer that the only way to achieve justice is to hold someone accountable, and that's why we are assembled here today. Everyone here, although we may wear different badges, different lapel pins, our agencies have different names. Some are federal some are local, but let me assure you, in our efforts to find Austin Drummond, this individual has shown the propensity for violence and he needs to be taken off the streets. No kidding. Why was he let back onto the streets? We would like for him to turn himself in that way. We can ensure that he's taken into custody and that there's no injury to law enforcement or public. But let me assure you of this. The U.S. Marshal Service will not stop until he is in custody. We have our whole team dedicated in prioritizing this incident. And it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when he's found. It's not just here in West Tennessee, but we have support divisions at headquarters that are also assisting this effort. So as you know, there's been a reward offered to those who may know where he is. We don't care about, I'm trying not to read all the ums and like the random letters. We don't care about where he may be, other than you giving us the information and you will get paid, no questions asked. So that is the priority, is for him to turn himself in. But if not, then that reward does stand, and we will gladly take him into custody. And again, I want to thank everybody involved. The TBI has done a phenomenal job, as always, with the investigation. The other law enforcement agencies that have been mentioned, we are unified in our efforts to find him. So again, I just want to thank you for being here today and helping us get this message out. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Stephen Sutton, and I'm here today on behalf of Lake County Sheriff Brian Avery and Dyer County Sheriff Jeff Box to address two deeply troubling incidences that have recently affected our communities. This past Tuesday, we faced a heart-wrenching situation where an infant was found about 3:11 p.m. on Highway 20, abandoned in a car seat just off Highway 412. There's like a break. EMS was called to evaluate the baby, and I'm glad to report that thankfully the baby is safe and being cared for. And the Dyer County Sheriff's Office does have jurisdiction into the investigation regarding this abandoned child. In addition to the distressing scenario, we're also dealing with 4 tragic homicides that occurred in Lake County. Just as those before have expressed, our hearts go out to all of those families and friends that have been deeply impacted with pain and grief of the actions that have occurred this week. Each life lost is truly a tragedy, and we extend our deepest sympathies to all of those who are grieving, and we want to assure you that we're doing everything in our power to uncover the truth and to provide answers. Want to take a moment to again express our gratitude to all of the law enforcement partners, state partners, federal, local, who have been tirelessly working around the clock to bring justice to these families, and their dedication and commitment during such challenging times surely are commendable. I must emphasize that our primary focus remains on locating Austin Drummond, who is still considered a suspect at large in these ongoing investigations. Finding him is our singular focus, and we urge anyone with information regarding his whereabouts to please come forward. Your assistance is crucial in helping us bring closure to these families and restoring peace to our communities. We appreciate your cooperation. We appreciate your patience as this investigation unfolds. Thank you for your understanding as we navigate these sensitive matters, and we will keep you updated with any new developments as they arise. Thank you. Lake County Sheriff Brian Avery, Derry County Sheriff. All right, let me just read through this. So now next is Derek Tizell with the Jackson Police Department, Deputy Chief of Police. Let me just see if he says anything different. It seems like they're all saying the same thing. He says, what we want, or what I would want to encourage, is that our citizens be aware of your surroundings when you're in or out or around your places of residence. We want you to be mindful of what we're putting out and be attentive to what we're putting out. Because not only are we trying to safely apprehend Mr. Drummond, but we also want to keep you safe. If anybody sees this individual, again, I want to emphasize that everybody else has said, please call 911 or call the TBI. All right, so then they opened it up to questions. So Channel 5 out of Memphis asked, you talked about a sign of compassion that you saw from Drummond. Is that him dropping off the baby? Reply. Yeah. So what you're asking is when I mentioned a sign of compassion from the suspect. Yes. So yes, they brought attention when they dropped the child off. There were people nearby, and so brought attention to those people to come and get the child. What? So he dropped the child off and brought attention to the people to come get the kid? Next question, Channel 3 Memphis. So the lineup is that the baby was dropped off first before the homicide, or what is the timeline? Answer. Yeah, so all of that is still under active investigation. You're asking about the timeline for the incidents. At this point, that is all actively being investigated. Someone then answers, how about the scene on Carrington Drive? Did the suspect go separately? Was he with the other parties? What can you tell us about that? And the response was, yeah, I won't go. You're asking again about specifics of the crime scene itself. We won't go into detail on the specifics of the crime scene at this time. It's very active and engaged. Next question. Can you confirm at this time Austin Drummond's relationship with any family members or in a relationship? Can you confirm any of that at this time? Response. Yeah, I appreciate you're asking about the relationship of the suspect with the individual victims. There was a familial between the suspect and the specific. We won't go into the specifics of the investigation at this time. Next question. Is he still in Jackson? Are we aware of that, or are we expecting in terms of the location of the suspect at this time? Answer. We believe that the suspect is still in the area based on the potential information that we are working through. So at this time, we believe that he is still in the area. All right, I'm just going to kind of scroll through the rest of these questions because they're all pretty much the same and the answers are the same. It's active and ongoing. We can't answer you. Okay, so here's a good question. Someone asked, earlier he was recently incarcerated. Were those charges aggravated robbery, aggravated kidnapping? Can you talk to us about that a little bit? Response, I'll yield to the general on that information. Austin Drummond was convicted in Madison County several years ago for an aggravated robbery. He was sentenced to the Tennessee Department of Corrections, and he was housed at Northwest Correctional, which is in Tiptonville, Lake County. He completed that sentence. So it's what we call flattening the sentence. So he doesn't actually come out on parole or probation. He's just released because he's done all of his time in prison. While he was in prison, he received other charges. He was actually okay, this makes no sense. Okay, I'm going to skip that sentence. He had some drug charges that we indicted him for, and then shortly after that, he actually was charged and indicted in Lake County for attempted murder, attempted first-degree murder, which took place inside the prison. Because he completed a sentence, then that was just like any other sentence that a person on the street would have committed. So what happened is once he was released from the Department of Corrections, the Lake County Sheriff's Department picked him up, brought him, and he made bond. So he has been out on bond on those charges when we think that this was allegedly committed. Okay, still didn't talk about how much the bond was. Somebody had asked if it was drug related. They said that's part of the investigation. And that was about it. You think they would have gotten better reception for that. Good Lord. Let's see. What's going on in chat? Yeah, that's true. And I mean, unless he shaved, you know, they're assuming he lived in his car. Okay, so let me go to, so this was, I was looking on Twitter to see if I could find anything. And this actually is the area where his car was found. So let me add this. Oh, let me rewind it. So you can see it's a dead end. It's kind of weird. I looked it up on the map. It's like a T, and then it kind of branches off two different directions, but it's like wooded area. So he's been in that area. So just to kind of show the map. So here is MCO Road that they had mentioned, and then this is like the T, and then it looks like there's, I'm assuming this is road here, or a trail, something of that sort. And it's right near the interstate. Right near the interstate. All right, so I think that's, yes, that's all I had on Mr. Drummond. Let me just see real quickly if there's anything else relevant or updated. A lot of people are talking about him being out on attempted murder and how he shouldn't have been out. Let me see if I do bond. It's interesting that they're not saying how much his bond was set for. All right. All right, so that looks like that is it based on let me just check if there's any updates quickly. Oh. They have the audio. They posted this, WBBJ has posted the audio from his parole hearing back in, what year did they say? I can't remember. So I will post this link. I'll put this link in chat. But as a summary, it says Austin Drummond's parole was denied based on several factors, including the seriousness of his offense and risk to reoffend. In a letter of opposition to his parole, DA Jody Pickens said he was a confirmed member of the Vice Lords and that he demonstrated no desire for rehabilitation. All right, so let me put this if anyone wants to look at that. Yeah, I-40 is super close. And who knows, he could have realized that people were, getting closer, and he could have gotten into a car with somebody else. Yeah, he had infractions in jail. Surprised he got out. And they said that he had a lot of disciplinary things. But apparently in Tennessee, if you serve your entire sentence, you're done. No parole. No, what was the other thing? Parole or I don't remember the other thing they said. But it's like all ties have been cut. You're free to go. Right. All right, so we are going to change gears to some updates related to Andrew McGann, who is the 28-year-old who is being charged with 2 counts of capital murder in the deaths of Clinton and Cristen Brink, who were hiking with their 7 and 9-year-old daughters at Devil's Den State Park. And he did have a hearing today. So we're going to take a look at that first. And then I just have a quick video kind of summing up everything that we know up to this point. Probation. That's what I was trying to think. Thank you, Nina. I couldn't think of the other word. Cottle says, I'm going to Tennessee. So Nanny says they flatten their time so they don't have to deal with parole or probation. I don't know. I just feel like that's crazy to me. Okay, so Mr. McGann had a court hearing, his first appearance today. So I have not watched the entirety of this, so I'll be watching it at the same time as you.
All right, you are Andrew James McGann. Yes. You're in front of me today, sir, for your first appearance at Arkansas Illinois one charges from being against you out of Washington County Circuit Court. You should know you have the right to represent an attorney. The attorney will be appointed if you can't afford one. You're not required to say anything today. Anything you say can be used against you. You also have a right to communicate with counsel, your family or friends, and a reasonable means will be provided for you to do that. I've been presented with an affidavit of indigency this morning from Mr. Parrish. I'm going to sign off on that and appoint the public defender's office.
That's interesting. It doesn't appear that there's any gallery in this courtroom. Maybe this is just for certain court proceedings, but you can see, the 2 tables, but it doesn't appear that there's a gallery where people can watch. The gallery is this TV.
Your case moving forward to represent you.
No, that's the case of them. Because I've talked to attorneys representing them for
Yes, certainly, Mr. Parrish. I'll give you the next question and finish this. The bond is set at no bond right now with your next court appearance for August 25th of this year at 7:45 a.m. That's going to be your right to detention center. There's been a finding made that probable cause exists at a detention that was made by a judge previously. Anything further, Mr. Parrish, or do you wish to be heard?
Another thing that I would indicate is, depending upon which division this case falls in, but it may be soon in the next week. We don't know. But we're aware of that. Is what I'm saying.
All right, very good. Anything else?
Your Honor, we'd ask that you have the conditions given. multiple handlers released and have no contact, direct or indirect connection with Brent's family.
I can add that today, there's nothing to have it. There's no condition. Are you going to get the bond listed? Sure, he's not going to have a contact though. If a bond is set, then a no contact provision can be part of that bond, but right now there's no reason to do that. Anything from anyone else?
No, no.
All right, thank you.
That's kind of something.
Yes.
Thank you. Questions?
Yes.
All right, that was quick. 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Yeah, smallest courtroom. It's, you know, when I got my speeding ticket years ago, that's the size the room was. The judge was like, you know, she had her bench, and then there was like a reporter, and then you came in and sat at a table with the DA. That's how it was set up. It was just a room. Then again, that was traffic court. That wasn't, you know, violent crime court. All right, so one last clip. And this kind of talks about the first of court appearance, but then it also gives some, you know, summary information related to this case.
Finally captured nearly a week after a couple was killed in an Arkansas state park, the man accused of stabbing them to death had his first appearance in front of.
Oh, like, look at his face. I just can't get over. Like, just so sinister and evil, menacing. Like, all the words.
Of a judge. Good afternoon. Welcome to Arkansas Today. I'm Talisa Hampton. These are the newest sketches released of the suspect in Devil's Den State Park in that double homicide. This time, the sketches are of him inside of a Washington County courtroom this morning. Gabby Phelan was in that courtroom today. She joins us live from Northwest Arkansas. Gabby, how did things go this morning?
Thanks, Talisa. Earlier this morning, 28-year-old Andrew McGann made his first court appearance here in Washington County, where he was ordered to be held without bond. And prosecutors also shared that they will be seeking the death penalty after he allegedly murdered Cristen and Clinton Brink in Devil's Den State Park over the weekend, leaving behind their 3 daughters. Although our cameras weren't allowed in the courtroom, we did catch a quick glimpse of McGann in a holding cell where he could be seen facing away from the camera with his head tucked down. He was dressed head to toe in stripes and shackled at the waist and ankles. And today's proceeding was what is known as an 8-1 hearing, which really just means that it's McGann's first appearance before a judge. During the hearing, McGann was advised of the charges against him, which were 2 counts of capital murder. He was also informed of his right to legal counsel and was appointed to a public defender to take on his case. Typically, during these hearings, a bond decision takes place, and in this case, the court did again determine that he would be held without bond. Now, this was not a plea hearing, so McGann did not enter a plea of guilty or not guilty today. However, his arraignment was scheduled for August 25th, which is where he will enter his plea. Brandon Carter, the prosecuting attorney for the 4th Judicial District, shared with me that he plans to file formal charges either today or Monday, and at that point, his arraignment could be moved to an earlier date. And once we learn more about when exactly that next court date will be, we'll keep you updated on air and online. Live in Washington County, I'm Gabriella Phelan.
Thanks, Gabby. A newly released video of Andrew McGann shows him being booked into the Washington County Jail after his arrest on Wednesday. A preliminary report details a witness at Devil's Den State Park saw him with blood on his face driving off in a black Kia Stinger. Officials say they found that car outside of a Springdale salon where he was inside getting a haircut. Officials say DNA evidence and the testimony of the 2 daughters of Clinton and Cristen Brink played a key role in McGann's arrest. Investigators say it's not easy to work with children in this case. However, it's a totally different process with questioning them.
The entire interview is child-led and it's very neutral. And so you ask the child, and every interviewer has their own way of asking, but you just ask them the reason they're here.
In addition to the 7 and 9-year-old,
I can't imagine those poor girls, and thankfully, the mom had the presence of mind in that moment to usher them to safety away from this crazed lunatic who was attacking her husband. And, you know, once she felt they were safe, she went back to try to help her husband, and she ended up losing her life as well.
Girls who were at that park. The Brinks had a third daughter who was not there at the time. All of the girls are safe and with other family members now. And police have not said if they have found any connection between the suspect or the victims. McGann has worked at least for 4 different schools and 4 years, 1 in Texas, 2 in Oklahoma, and the most recent one was after he was hired by Springdale Public Schools. The district says his employment had not officially started yet, and he had not met any students or families. And as we learn more about the investigation and the details into Devil's Den State Park, we will keep you informed. Head over to our website, KARK.com.
Jeez. I'm going to see. Oh, here's an hour ago. Let's see what this one says. So this says, teacher charged in fatal stabbings in Arkansas bounced between schools in 3 states. And I don't know, I know in New York, like I'm certified to teach in New York, but I don't believe my certification would transfer to other states. Like I would have to get certified in those states in order to teach. I don't know how it works. You know, I think they said he went to Oklahoma State. Somewhere in Oklahoma he went to school. So I don't know how that works down there, but hey, Grain, how are you? All right, so it says a 28-year-old teacher who authorities say admitted to fatally stabbing 2 hikers he didn't know in an Arkansas state park bounced between 4 school districts in 3 states in recent years. Andrew James McGann was placed on administrative leave at an elementary school in the Dallas suburb of Flower Mound, Texas, in spring 2023 after concerns were raised about his classroom management. But he passed background checks in 2 different Oklahoma school districts and had been expected to start a new job in Northwest Arkansas on August 11th. So classroom management, that's interesting. That could be a lot of things. It could be that he was obviously not a nice person. So it could have been, you know, maybe he incorporated corporal punishment, or who knows? McGann has been charged with 2 counts of capital murder on the killing Saturday of Clinton David Brink, 43, and Cristen Amanda Brink, 41. He made his first appearance on Friday before an Arkansas judge who ordered McGann to be held without bond at the Washington County Detention Center, assigned him a public defender, and scheduled his arraignment for August 25th. All right, so end of the month. Police say motive unknown. Arkansas State Police Colonel Mike Hager. Oh, God, that spider. Hold on. I need to scroll up. Oh, that was gross. Mike Hager said Thursday that authorities are trying to determine a motive for the attack at Devil's Den, a 2,500-acre state park about 140 miles northwest of Little Rock. Its trails have been closed to the public since Saturday. State police arrested McGann on Wednesday at a barbershop in Springdale, about 30 miles north of the park, said Major Stacy Rhodes, commander of the department's Criminal Investigation Division. Adriana Ruiz, a stylist at Lupita's Beauty Salon and Barbershop, told Fort Smith television station KFSM that McGann kept his head down, refused to sign in, and wanted to keep his hair long to cover his face. I was about 5 minutes into the haircut when a man pulled up and was asking about whose car that was outside. Moments later, she said, police swarmed the salon and arrested McGann. The AP left messages at numbers listed for McGann, who has no criminal record. Officials said the husband was stabbed first, about a half a mile into the park. Then the mother ushered her daughters to safety before returning to help her husband. She was also stabbed to death. Authorities have not said if the girls, ages 7 and 9, witnessed both their parents being killed, which I did hear another creator talking about this case, and that creator said that the girls witnessed their parents being killed. Here, it's saying authorities have not said if the girls witnessed it. I hadn't heard that either. So when I heard this other creator say that, I'm like, wait a minute. That has not been said. They were not hurt and are being cared for by family members. A third daughter was not hiking with her family when the Brinks were killed. McGann was cooperative during his arrest and admitted to killing the couple soon after. Police also matched his DNA to blood found at the crime scene. Rhodes described the killings as random. Suspects teaching history. McGann, who graduated in spring 2022 from Oklahoma State University, Tulsa, with a Bachelor's of Science in Elementary Education, has active teaching licenses in Arkansas, Texas, and Oklahoma, according to each respective government certification website. Okay, so that answered my question. You do need to have a teaching license in each state. No infractions or suspensions are noted on his public state licensures in any of those states. The AP has reached out to all 3 state education agencies. McGann was placed on administrative leave in spring 2023 while he was employed at Donald Elementary School in Flower Mound, Texas, quote, following concerns related to classroom management, professional judgment, and student favoritism, according to a spokesperson for the Louisville Independent School District. Sienna Markham, whose son was in McGann's 4th grade class, said the teacher came across as pretty cold and disinterested in his students. Markham said her son came home from school upset about some of McGann's behavior, which she reported to the school's principal. McGann resigned from the Louisville posting in May 2023. The following school year, he taught 5th grade at an elementary school in the Tulsa suburb of Broken Arrow before leaving to take another job at a separate Tulsa area district, Sand Springs, from the summer of 2024 until May of this year. Wait, so he taught 5th grade. Okay, so he was at another school, and then from summer until May of this year, he was with this Tulsa area district. Officials with both Oklahoma districts said McGann passed all background checks. There was no disciplinary actions taken against him during his time at Broken Arrow Public Schools, and nothing in his background or reference checks gave cause for concern during the interview process. Broken Arrow Public Schools spokesperson Tara Thompson wrote in an email to the AP. Spokespeople from both Oklahoma districts said police have not reached out regarding the investigation. McGann had not yet started his new job in Arkansas at Springdale Public Schools, said Jared Cleveland, the district superintendent. He said the district could not provide more information citing the investigation. McGann was arrested after a 5-day search and hundreds of tips. The state police collected photos and videos from other hikers who had been on the trails but didn't witness the attack. Police also released a composite sketch and a photo that showed a person of interest from behind. The police then narrowed down the suspect's vehicle, which had tape over the license plate, using surveillance footage from homes and businesses near Devil's Den. Within an hour of identifying McGann as a suspect, police captured him at the barbershop. Washington County Prosecutor Brandon Carter indicated the jury would have the option to sentence McGann to the death penalty. Hey, Oki, how are you? The Brinks and their 3 daughters had recently moved from South Dakota to the small city of Prairie Grove in northwest Arkansas. Clinton Brink was supposed to start working as a milk delivery driver on Monday, according to Highland Dairy, his employer. So that would have been this past Monday. Cristen Brink had been licensed as a nurse in Montana and South Dakota before moving to Arkansas. The Brink family has said the couple died, quote, heroes protecting their little girls. And there goes my background again. That is crazy. But But what's interesting, I mean, so with the first school he was at, they said, let me go back. Classroom management, professional judgment, and student favoritism. That was the first job. So that was his first teaching job. And then the 2 schools that he had taught at in Oklahoma, no disciplinary action or anything like what happened in, well, at least documented that had happened in Texas. And then he was going to start. I cannot imagine someone with this much anger. And that makes me think with classroom management, that's why it kind of leaned toward like corporal punishment, or, you know, treating certain kids more harshly than other kids. Professional judgment, that could mean a whole array of things. Oh my goodness, Oki, your hometown is Sand Springs, Oklahoma? Hiding what he's done in another school. Just, I don't know how records work though. Like in New York, you can't give a bad reference. So even if they had called, you know, I mean, I would assume that they would call the previous employer. They did with me. They would probably just talk about what, if anything, was in your personnel file. But I don't even know because I don't do, you know, I don't do interviews and things. One thing I do want to say though is that there is a certain creator who is comparing me to this man, and we are not the same. And shame on that creator for even insinuating that fact. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But that's all I've got for you guys. Oh, one thing, since I've got a little time left before my 2 hours, I did want to show, I never got to it yesterday, but I wanted to show the flooding in New York City. So let me go to Queens Highway. Was actually closed down because cars were completely submerged in water. Let's see, Queens Highway flooding. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see, one day ago. All right, let's check this one out first. And then, oh, there goes my background again. Usually, well, the downstate, so I'm upstate, we get quite a bit of rain. But downstate usually doesn't get, I don't think, as much. I mean, oh, I guess they probably do. It's warmer, so they don't get as much like snow. But I think they had said they got like 5 inches of rain in a very small amount of time. So that's what caused like this insane flooding.
During this newscast about some of the issues out there on the roads. The Clearview Expressway hit exceptionally hard this afternoon.
It sure did. We got Stacy Sager just arrived on the scene. Stacy, give us an update.
Oh, it looks like
hey guys, it was fast and furious here in Bayside. We are at the 35th Avenue overpass.
Okay, so Bayside is on, well, it says Queens, but Bayside, oh, it must be a part of Queens because there's also a Bayside, Long Island. There's also a Bayside Long Island.
Here along the Clearview Expressway. Take a look behind me. You can see the cleanup underway. There's a black car you see down there. It was submerged earlier. This white tractor trailer right next to it was partially submerged. You can see this northbound, this southbound stretch of the Clearview remains closed right now because of the flooding that took place. Over here next to it is the northbound side. That is moving at this point. Cars just started coming through on the northbound side, but take a look at this video just a bit earlier, not even an hour ago. You can see.
Oh my, there's that black car. Oh my gosh.
How bad it was with the car that was submerged. Whoa. With the white truck.
And I'm curious. I mean, I'm not judging because that's a lot of water, but I'm wondering if they thought they could make it through, because I mean, when you look above, it doesn't look like it's that deep. But then you get out and, you know, your car stalls out.
Tractor trailer that was partially submerged.
Oh my God, there's another car. And that actually looks like the water receded a little bit because you can see all that gook on the top of the hood and on the side of the car. Holy crap.
There were rescues that needed to take place because motorists got themselves into a pickle. They really couldn't get through. The rain, as I said, happened.
Oh, well, and she just said motorists got themselves into a pickle, meaning they probably drove through not thinking it was going to be that bad.
Very, very quickly, and it was in a very small, concentrated area along the southbound side of the Clearview Expressway here in Bayside. Also, the Bay Terrace Shopping Center had some flooding, and water started flowing into the library also in Bayside, Queens. So it was a very concentrated spot here in Bayside. We did speak to a homeowner who said they had flood.
Oh my goodness, that's the library. Pools. Wait, what does it say? Pools of water on floor of library in Bayside, Queens.
In their house. But once again, these are small cells that are kind of popping up. And so when we were coming here, for instance, we didn't even see any flooding until we got to this spot along the Clearview Expressway. But as I said, if you take a look behind me here, you really can see this cleanup that's been underway. Now it looks like just a muddy mess where you see the vehicles. Fortunately, it appears no one was hurt in all of this, but just a mess for this commute coming home. We can also tell you the Port Washington train line has been closed in both directions because of low-lying areas along the tracks, obviously, and the flooding that has taken place east of Flushing, Queens. We're live in Bayside. I'm Stacey Sager, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Fast and furious indeed, Stacey.
All right, let's see. Oh, here's ABC News. Let's check out this one and then we'll call it.
Severe storms and flash flooding slamming the East Coast. Emergencies declared in New York and New Jersey. Rainfall.
And I had no idea that there was flooding going on. I got an alert on my phone saying that Governor Hochul had declared a state of emergency in Queens. And I'm like, what? What's going on down there? And then I saw this flooding and I was like, holy crap.
Rates of 3 inches per hour, making
3 inches per hour. That's a lot. I mean, not as much as they got in Texas, but that's a lot.
The mess of rush hour. Water filling up this bus. More than 100 passengers had to use ladders and ropes to escape this Long Island Railroad train.
When they said we had to climb down, I was like having a panic attack.
Drivers trapped in vehicles along this expressway. Powerful thunderstorms hitting Pennsylvania. Multiple lightning strikes reported. In Maryland, the storm's turning deadly. A boy in Mount Airy was playing when he was swept into a drainage pipe.
The water was all the way across, and again, probably about chest level. There's too much suction, and unfortunately, it ended tragically.
Outside Baltimore, water swamping roads, stranding drivers. Heavy rain also in D.C., this massive tree crushing cars. A different problem in the upper Midwest, smoke from Canadian wildfires causing some of the worst air quality in the world. Alerts issued from Minnesota to Indiana.
Meanwhile, I haven't heard about the smoke from the wildfires. Interesting. I'm sorry. I just got distracted. I saw something outside. I'm like, what is that? Daddy cat is sleeping on my driveway next to the weeds I need to clean. He's such a good boy.
Texas, we're learning more about the catastrophic July 4th flood that devastated Kerr County, killing more than 130 people.
And, they're going to talk about it. So I do have they had a hearing on the flooding, and I only heard parts of it, but I don't remember exactly what official, but he said he was sick and in bed, and he didn't think that it was going to be that bad. He was deflecting, in my opinion, because if you knew that the weather service was saying there was a potential for flash flooding, yeah, you're sick, but you keep your phone on.
At a hearing, the county's emergency management coordinator, William Thomas, revealing he was sleeping as floodwaters swept the region because he was sick at the time.
I was awake.
Let me rewind that. Look how fast that
130
goes.
people.
It was
At a hearing, the county's emergency management coordinator, William Thomas, revealing he was sleeping as floodwaters swept the region because he was sick at the time.
And those people standing there, maybe they're officials, maybe not, but those people are not very smart.
I was awakened around 5:30 a.m. on July the 4th by my wife, following a call from the City of Kerrville EMC, Jeremy Hughes, requesting that I mobilize.
But by then, hundreds of people, including 27 young campers and staff members at Camp Mystic, had been swept away by the rising water.
You should have been here directing that response. That's your responsibility.
I agree.
As for those storms in the east, they're blamed for 1,800 flight cancellations.
Wild. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And so I did find an article about the little boy. I just looked him up quick to see. So it says, I tried my hardest. Bystanders recount trying to save boy swept into Mount Airy storm drain. And I've heard about, this isn't the first time I've heard of someone who has been swept into these storm drains because they're playing in the water or whatever. And they end up getting, it's like what is it called? A whirlpool. The Mount Airy community is reeling after Thursday's flash floods killed a child. A single rose sat Friday atop a storm drain near an apartment complex of Watersville Road less than 24 hours after a 13-year-old boy was swept into a storm drain. Maggie McBain told 11 News she was driving when she saw people yelling for help. I flew out of the car and jumped in the water and started yanking on him, and we just couldn't get him out. I tried my hardest. Oh my God. The Mount Airy Volunteer Fire Company soon arrived and jumped into the water as well. Officials said the teenager was playing with another child nearby when storm water rushed down the hill, pushing him into the drainage pipe. This was just a torrential rain. I mean, for a long time, and the water filled up the retention pond and then just dashed down through here. Nobody ever thought that there's ever going to be a river running down through here, but it did. Due to the pressure and size of the pipe, crews were unable to save the boy. Residents expressed remorse for the boy's family. When we were walking down here, you could feel the sadness, said Maria Petrucci, a resident. It's very devastating. It's literally right outside my front door. I'm going to have to walk past it every day knowing some kid died right there. The National Weather Service told 11 News that water can turn raging in just a short time. Especially if you're in some of those drainages in lower areas, be very cautious as the water can come up very quickly, and monitor that if you're in a flash flood situation. We are starting to see some phenomenally heavy rains like we did yesterday. Strong said that when severe weather approaches, it's vital to be aware of watches in effect and to prepare when warnings are issued, meaning it's time to take action. How sad. That's terrible. I'm having to weed eat my yard because the yard, yeah, and it's been so hot. They're just growing like wheat. Well, they are weeds, but they're growing like craziness. Oh my God. Daddy Cat, he's so cute. I've got to go give him food too. It's about his time for me to get out there and give them food for the night. Oh no, Pookie. That's so sad. That's sad to hear. All right, y'all. Well, that's all I've got for you. Thanks so much for being here. I do appreciate it. I do want to, oh, that's the other thing. Cole, what is his last name? Cole, the dad of Colt. Colt was the teenager who opened fire on a Georgia school, and his dad was also arrested for buying the gun for his child. Dad had a court hearing today, so I'm going to look through that and see. It's like 2.5 hours, so I'm going to see what, if anything, we can take a look at, and that would be tomorrow. And I'll just keep an eye on these two stories. I'm hoping that they find this Austin dude, because he is not a good person. Oh, what is this? I just wanted to see if there was an update before I left. And so it says, so real quick, it says a relative of 4 people found dead in Tennessee this week described her family as heartbroken and confused, saying Thursday on Facebook that the suspect has, quote, literally been nothing short of amazing to us and our kids, end quote. The statement, written by a woman who identified herself as the sister-in-law and aunt of 3 victims, was posted after the TBI identified the suspect as Austin Robert Drummond, 28. Well, I guess he turned out to not be so amazing. And that's really, really sad. Really, really sad. Right, y'all. Oh, hey.
You have one shot on stage, what you got to play. Generic drops for days, still the people rage. Am I not insane? Can you stop and explain why these drops are so lame? Is money buying you fame? I'm fucking on, I'm killing it with this song. You haters can sing along or go back where you belong. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with giving up, moving on. Cause I took your girl to prom, she can't help but sing this song. Comes off till the lights go out, till my legs give out. Can't shut my mouth till the smoke clears out. And my high harass, I'ma rip this shit till my bones collapse. Till the roof comes off, till the lights go out, till my legs give out. Can't shut my mouth till the smoke clears out. And my high harass, I'ma rip this shit till my bones collapse. So on like a light switch, flirting back. There's nothing wrong with the way that she's working that. I just want that body bad, come on baby, bring it back. I'm so gone, faded off a 30 rack. She's so on like a light switch, flirting back. There's nothing wrong with the way that she's working that. I just want that body bad, come on baby, bring it back. I rap with a passion, yeah, I got it in me. I've been waiting quite a long time for y'all to hear me. It's about damn time you put some stock into me. You're either sponsoring me or fucking bothering me. And the fact is, we just practice on this madness. That is why your status is like a canvas. Chances our advancement is enhancing. And this my legs give out. Can't shut my mouth till the smoke clears out. And my hyper raps, I'ma rip this shit till my bones collapse. Till the roof comes off, till the lights go out. Till my legs give out, can't shut my mouth till the smoke clears out. And my hyper raps, I'ma rip this shit till my bones collapse.